In May 2024, the first election in 30 years, the ANC got less than 50%. They've been ruling with impunity since then.
Who got who?
They got 41%. They collapsed to 41%. They and the Democratic Alliance, which is the center party, the capitalist, free market, pro-West party, formed a government and national unity, GNU. But then they added a whole lot of other smaller parties. And that's our current government. Under the guise of the GNU, the ANC is still pushing forward its racist and socialist policies. So your question has hit the nail on the head. How do we take this forward without punishing South Africa, but by only punishing the people who are responsible for the 30 years of destruction? That's the key. This is a real finesse by America.
Yeah, so this is the challenge I see. Last night I'm watching Godfather 2. And
how many times?
I can't even tell you. It's not
Me too.
So I'm watching Godfather 2. You know what scene it is? Where Vito Corleone, his dad gets killed by the boss in Italy. Then Vito finds out who the son is, oldest son, kills the son. Then the mom decides to plea and go plead to him and go and say, please don't kill my youngest son. And she says, he's not that smart. He's not that this. Let him work for you. He won't do anything. Please, forgive him. Let him live his life. All this stuff. He's thinking about it for a couple minutes. And he says, nope, I can't do that. Then she takes a knife out to try to kill him. And then they shoot her. She dies right in front of Vito Corleone. Vito runs off. And they try to go get him with a shotgun. They don't. Eventually he comes to the States and obviously he becomes the Godfather. He becomes Vito Corleone in the movie Godfather, right? And can you get vengeance out of him? I don't know. Can you get vengeance out of his heart to forget the family or anybody related to the family that killed the father, killed the mother, and killed his brother? Can you do that? In South Africa, when you go and look at the story, and you go all the way back and now, you know, the animosity, the level of animosity that's there, right? It's also similar to some of parts of Middle East. I'm from Iran. I lived there 11 years. This is my question for you. How do you manage the animosities while still moving forward? Go ahead and tell the guy, I know those guys killed your dad and your mom and they raped your sister, but guess what? You got to move on. How do you
South Africa,
yeah,
another first. In 1994,
yeah,
South Africa created the Truth and Reconciliation Committee. And the Truth and Reconciliation Committee was created that if you did something under apartheid, if you were a police officer that killed someone in prison or you beat someone to death on a farm, you had one opportunity to tell the truth in court, in front of the families, and admit to what you did. And you would be forgiven. But you had to tell the truth and all the truth. And it was the only way to lift the bloodletting that had taken place and the horror and the anger. And in many cases, people reconciled and they hugged the families and they were forgiven. Yes.
And who came? Is this what Mandela came up with?
Well, it was a combination of Mandela and de Klerk. It was a unity rainbow coalition government. In Rwanda, in 1994, same year, funnily enough,
wow,
for 3 months, the two tribes, created by the Belgians, by the way, these are non-existing tribes, Hutus and Tutsis. Basically, the Hutus killed Tutsis, 10,000 people a day, while the United Nations did nothing. President Paul Kagame, who's president today, a Rwandan, invaded his own country from Uganda, stopped the bloodshed, took over the control of the country, and he's still president today. He got everybody in the same way. Every village and every town got together, and a murderer had to admit to the family that he murdered your brother and your sister and your cousin. And for a year, they had to wear a pink overall and do jobs like cleaning and building and things like that. 1 year, you as a killer who admitted your crimes would be forgiven. You spend a year in a pink.
Is that to allow the other family to see that there's a little bit of retaliation and a price being paid?
Right. And how do you prosecute 50% of a country? You're finished. You have to find a way to move on. South Africa did, Rwanda did. It's terrible. But
Wow.
still today, there are people in South Africa that could say, you benefited under apartheid. There's still a lot of underlying.
Oh, for sure. I'm looking at this right now. Testimonies. Over 21,000 victims provided statements with approximately 2,000 hearings and public hearings. Amnesty applications out of 7,111 applications, 849 were granted amnesty. Final report, the TRC released its comprehensive report in 1998 with supplementary volumes in 2003 on what happened. That is
Big.
Very big.
I mean,
Very big to do that.
It's extraordinary.
That is extraordinary. And I think you need something like that to
Get over.
when you have somebody like two brothers, one of the brothers dates the other's girlfriend and they don't talk to each other for 5 years, they want to kill each other. What do you do as a father? You have to come in and try to find a way to bring them together. It's not easy to do, but this betrayal is even higher than that, to get it out. So now, President Trump, he's in the Middle East. He's doing what he's doing with UAE, Qatar, Saudi, meets with the president of Syria and Saudi and trying to tell Khamenei, hey, let's negotiate. Khamenei says, death upon America, I will never trust you. And he's saying what he's saying. He is, the second term, the way he's playing the second role, he's trying to be the peacemaker. Has a 2-hour call with Putin and Ukraine, has these meetings that he's having with everybody. You think this approach tomorrow is going to be a public one where the world's going to be watching? You think cameras are going to be on? Or you think it's going to be a private meeting?
No, public. For sure, public.
And same way, try to put him in his place.
He's got to.
And Elon will be there as well because Elon's tied to South Africa.
Exactly.
Do you think Elon will be saying anything tomorrow, or it'll be him and Marco Rubio speaking most of the time?
Him and Marco.
You don't think Musk will say anything?
Not much.
Why do you think?
I don't think Musk believes South Africa stands a chance. A friend of mine asked him 3 months ago in a private moment, Elon, do you still believe in South Africa? Do you still think there's hope? And Elon he gets thoughtful. He said 3 words, demographics don't lie. The voting population. Democracy is grinding forward in a glacial pace, but our economy won't survive. And with 60% youth unemployment, you'd expect civil unrest, wouldn't you, at some point? It's a tinderbox.
Or an exodus.
Well, the exodus is already happening.
Yeah, 1 million.
And I'm a lucky guy. I can be the last chopper out of Saigon. Talk about helicopter pilots.
Of course, yeah.
Where's Anderson?
Fox.
I've been a helicopter pilot on a movie.
Yeah.
So I can be the last guy out, but most South Africans, black, white, colored, Indian, whatever.
You're not afraid of going back? Living there for 2 to 3 years?
I'm never going to leave.
You're never going to leave?
My wife's from New Zealand. And New Zealand, have you watched Lord of the Rings?
Of course.
So you know the story. So New Zealand is the hobbits. They have no neighbors. They have no threats. They have no pollution. They have nothing. It's like the most happy, sensible, boring country on the planet.
They got the All Blacks, though.
They got the All Blacks.
Yeah.
Respect.
Respect, yeah.
And they're the hobbits. We live in Mordor. We're on the edge of Mordor where we are. I mean, every day anything can happen. So
you're not worried about going back, living there for 2 to 3 years.
So my wife said to me 4 years ago, my New Zealand wife, we'd only been back 2 years, and she was reading something and she looked at me and she said, can I swear?
Sure.
She said, I fucking love this place.
Wow.
It's worth fighting for.
Get out of here.
And I said, okay, then I will.
Why does she love the place?
South Africa, you got to come. It is magical. It's got all the madness, all the craziest, stupidest, worst things on the planet, and it's got the most beautiful, magical, it's the most incredible country. I can't get it under my skin. And all the million South Africans that have left, badmouth South Africa, because it's the only way they can justify leaving. Everybody misses that country. It is just magical.
Did you hear about Cyril calling the people that left cowards?
I know, he's the coward. How dare he?
Well, he called everybody that left a coward.
He is disgusting and a disgrace for doing that.
You didn't see this clip?
I did. It made me so angry.
Rob, can you pull up that clip where he's calling anybody that left the country a coward?
He's the coward because he does nothing about South African suffering. Oh, go back to that meme. Go that meme? Cowardice, parla, corruption, economic. Parla, Cyril Ramaphosa was found with millions of dollars hidden in his sofa, and it's unaccounted for. I would not be surprised if that came from Iran. This, our president, corruption, poverty.
Yeah, he called everybody.
He's the coward.
Rob, can you see if it's the clip I sent you? There's a clip of him calling South Africans who leave the country.
I believe this is it
He
right
did.
here.
This is it. Can I see it?
At the Nampo agricultural.
You're a coward. And that's a real cowardly act.
You want to get me angry? This gets me angry. He's the coward.
Why is he the coward?
He doesn't solve any of the problems in South Africa that are easy to fix. He lets the farmers hang out to dry, get murdered, get raped, get tortured. He lets our economy fall apart. He lets 60% unemployment take place. He doesn't face up to what's going on, and he doesn't deal with the issues. He's the coward. And if people are being persecuted or have no economic opportunity, how can you call them cowards for going to another country to try and improve their lives?
Nowadays, more than ever, the brand you wear reflects and represents who you are. So for us, if you wear a Future Looks Bright hat or a Valuetainment gear, you're telling the world, I'm optimistic. I'm excited about what's going to be happening, but you're a free thinker. You question things. You like debate. And by the way, last year, 120,000 people got a piece of Future Looks Bright gear with Valuetainment. We have so many new things. The cufflinks are here. New Future Looks Bright. This is my favorite, the green one. Just yesterday, somebody placed an order for 100 of these. If you watch the PBD podcast, you got a bunch to choose from. White ones, black ones. If you smoke cigars and you come to our cigar lounge, we have this high quality lighter cutter and a holder for the cigars. We got sweaters with the Valuetainment logo on it. We got mugs. We got a bunch of different things. But if you believe the future looks bright, if you follow our content and what we represent with Valuetainment, with PBD Podcast, go to vtmerch.com. And by the way, if you order right now, there's going to be a special VT gift inside just for you. So again, go to vtmerch.com, place your order, tell the world that you believe the future looks bright.